Hello gamers, this is Sai, and welcome back to Which Way Games. It's time for another top 10, and this time it's my top 10 bosses in gaming. These are the best of the best, and they all have one thing in common. What's that, you ask? Well...
the same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
And with that being said, let's get on with the video. Video game bosses are usually the final test before the end of any game, that final barrier before the end credits roll. Usually ending some games will open up harder modes or unlockable content that can add to a game's playability. There are times where the end of game boss will make an appearance early during the game, tormenting gamers with their overpowering presence. Obviously at that point in any game, gamers are far too weak to take them head on. The final bosses on this list sometimes make a recurring appearance throughout their game series. So let's get on with my list of top 10 bosses in gaming. Let's do this. This high-ranking space pirate with an appearance of a flying space dragon will return time and time again to battle Samus Aran. Ridley delights in the death and destruction of other races, also being responsible for the destruction of colony K2L, the colony that Samus Aran grew up with, so it's no wonder these two are arch enemies. With his sadistic and bloodthirsty nature, Ridley will do what he can to stop Samus on her missions, and he will try and put a stop to the bounty hunter once and for all. Returning regularly even from the brinks of death, Ridley will eventually get an upgrade to tackle the ever-growing power of Samus Aran. With a taste for human flesh, it's only a matter of time before Ridley finally gets to have a taste of the Metroid Destroyer. Samus Aran really needs to keep her wits about her, especially with this bloodthirsty pirate tracking her down. Imagine being chased by an almost indestructible being with one goal in its mind: the death of the protagonist by any means necessary. Nemesis is the result of an extensive research project by the Umbrella Corporation. A functional bioweapon that is controlled by the Nemesis parasite. Once it has its sights set on its target, nothing can get in its way. Appearing frequently throughout Jill Valentine's effort to escape Raccoon City, she is chased relentlessly by a Nemesis, even to the point where her hopes of escaping by helicopter are shot down by the rocket launcher it carries around like a pistol. With tentacles and soulless eyes, there is no reason with the walking behemoth. Dr. Wily was once a brilliant scientist, working alongside Dr. Light in creating the Robot Masters. And with Dr. Light wanting their robots to be sentient and have their own thoughts, this caused tension between the two doctors. This ultimately led to a falling out, and with that, Dr. Wily became a bitter, mad scientist with sights set on world domination. Dr. Wily then stole and used Dr. Light's Robot Masters to help take over the world. One robot that had no potential to be used in Dr. Wily's plans was upgraded by Dr. Light. Enter Mega Man. Dr. Wily's plans are stopped time and time again by Mega Man, and the Doctor continues to lose to Mega Man each time he tries to take over the world. His evil genius creating new Robot Masters, each deadlier than the last. But each time the Doctor is captured, he somehow escapes, always returning to take revenge on the Blue Bomber. The Prince of Darkness, also known as Dracula, his undead being will rise from his grave every 100 years to feed, as well as to try to take over the world. Since the 11th century, the Belmont clan have stood up against the blood-sucking vampire and his evil forces of creatures that he controls. But with supernatural dark magic, this will be no easy task, even for the great Simon Belmont, who will have trouble thwarting this shape-shifting Prince of the Night. With a castle that can seemingly move location at will, it's not always easy for the Belmont clan to hunt down Dracula right away. Seemingly cursed to battle the infamous clan, Dracula has to come up with different ways to survive and eventually make the world suffer through a never-ending night where the creatures from beyond will be able to feed. All I can say is get the knife, and what a cursed night to battle the Prince of Darkness. m.bison is the psychopathic head of the Shadowloo crime syndicate. This dictator is also known for possessing a soul-destroying energy force known as Psycho Power. Instantly recognisable with his winged skull insignia and dark-coloured cape, he possesses a vast ego and a god complex. Bison is also universally regarded as the greatest and most powerful martial artist. With his own army of followers, Bison plans on ruling the world with an iron fist, even if it means using methods that some may think are inhumane. Holding a tournament to test his abilities and seeking fighters to steal their power from. m.bison has provided each entrant their own personal vendetta against the arrogant terrorist. After each defeat, the self-proclaimed general comes back time and time again, usually from the point of death and beyond. Can Ryu and Ken defeat the evil mastermind? When it comes to supernatural terror, there is something very otherworld-like when it comes to the horror that is known as Pyramid Head. Unlike Resident Evil's nemesis, Pyramid Head is silent, stalking his prey with only the sound of his long blade being dragged along the ground. Terrorising both the protagonist as well as the many supernatural entities that reside within Silent Hill, Pyramid Head has no problem killing friend or foe. This horror of gaming is best avoided at all costs. Pyramid Head is a well-known and iconic monster of the Silent Hill franchise. With his face always covered by the huge mask he wears, gamers can only imagine what lurks beneath. Maybe Pyramid Head is a cursed human soul, or maybe, just maybe, he's actually a demon that is known to destroy everything and everyone. Who knows when he will appear in other Silent Hill games. All I can say is you best hide. Yeah, you all knew this scientist was going to appear on this list. Dr. Robotnik is a short-tempered, pompous and cruel evil scientist, motivated by a psychotic belief of self-entitlement. Fueling his massive ego with the technological creations he makes, these range from the badniks to the huge robotic suits Robotnik wears from battling Sonic. Becoming obsessed with the power of the Chaos Emeralds, Robotnik does what he can to obtain these, even going out of his way to steal the Master Emerald. Sonic is always there to take down the evil genius, destroying his many machines and calling Robotnik Eggman. With a hatred of Sonic, Robotnik sometimes overlooks certain details in his plans of taking over Mobius, and these mistakes lead to childish outbursts when angry. Always seeming to be able to escape Sonic each time, Robotnik is also quite manipulative, especially to the Echidna Knuckles, and always returns with new ways to try and end the blue blur. Gamers need to make sure Sonic gets all the Chaos Emeralds so that he can turn into Super Sonic and take down the evil genius. Revolver Ocelot is one of the few people to have become personally acquainted with all 5 men with the codename of Snake. Being the son of the Sorrow and a legendary soldier known as the Boss, Ocelot will go on to become mentor, rival and right-hand man to Big Boss as well as Liquid Snake. Eventually Ocelot will be part of Foxhound alongside Liquid Snake, but will lose his arm in a battle with Solid Snake and a mysterious cybernetic ninja known as Grey Fox. Always being one step ahead of everyone involved, Ocelot will recover the body of Liquid and replace his missing arm, but with bizarre and confusing consequences. Regarded as the ultimate triple threat, Revolver Ocelot will orchestrate the events that will follow his first meeting with Naked Snake. Revolver Ocelot is also known to be quite partial to torture techniques and will always get the information he requires. And with the name of Revolver Ocelot, he's very fond of his revolvers and is able to ricochet bullets off any surface. Going back to the bizarre and confusing consequences, when Ocelot replaces his missing arm, the consciousness of Liquid seems to take over. Is this truly the return of Liquid Snake, or have we got a new enemy called Liquid Ocelot? What list would be complete without this iconic boss in gaming? Known as King Bowser, he's the arch enemy of Mario and always kidnaps Princess Peach. With plans to marry her and take over the Mushroom Kingdom, it's up to Mario to stop him and save the princess, as well as get that cake she promised him. Bowser's sharp teeth and physical prowess makes him a formidable foe for the Italian plumber. Even possessing magical powers such as teleportation and fire breath, he is more than capable to rule the Mushroom Kingdom by force. Sometimes his plans aren't exactly the most well thought through, although Mario still has trouble when dealing with his bipedal tortoise with red hair and a spiked shell. Usually behind every invasion of the Mushroom Kingdom and beyond, there are times where he'll have to team up with the mustachioed hero. But can Mario really trust him? Does Bowser still possess the power of the magic stars? Ganondorf Dragmiles, also known by other names such as the King of Thieves, the Great King of Evil and the Emperor of the Dark Realm. Being born into the Gerudo tribe and being the only male member to be born in 100 years, he automatically became the King of the Desert Living People. Frequently wielding the Triforce of Power, Ganondorf seeks the other 2 pieces that Link and Zelda possess. With an unnatural talent for dark magic, this King of Thieves will do what he can to overthrow the royal family of Hyrule, just so he can take it over and claim the land as his own. Gamers find out that Ganondorf is only the human form of this evil power. His true form is called Ganon, a pig-like creature void of all emotions, apart from complete hatred for Link and Zelda. This is understandable due to the never-ending cycle of always coming back after each defeat from the hands of Link. Although this cycle is actually a curse laid by Demise, the original form of Ganon. A curse that both Link and Zelda are caught up in, and they don't seem to be able to break free from it. With an evil this powerful, it's no wonder that Ganondorf is top of this list. It's up to the Triforce of Courage that Link possesses and the Triforce of Wisdom that Zelda has to stop Ganondorf once and for all. Can they finally break free from the curse? Well, that's my top 10 gaming bosses in history, and I hope gamers at home enjoyed it. If there's a boss that didn't appear on this list, please let me know in the comments. Come back next time where Sonic is on the mission to save Mobius again, but with the help of a two-tailed fox. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next game.